Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com, and thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Saturday tutorial. I'm really excited about today's project. It's a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy it, and it features the Eastern Beauty Stamp Set. This is a really great set found in our current annual catalog, so let me show you which project we're going to create today. So if you open your catalog to page 18 and 19, that is where you will find the Eastern Palace Suite. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. There are such beautiful colors featured in this suite. So you've got Dapper Denim, Fresh Fig, Tranquil Tide featured in here, gold, foiling on the designer paper. You've got some tassels, you've got these cute little vinyl stickers, the stamp set, which also have some coordinating thinlet dies, the Eastern Medallions thinlet dies that go along with it. Just a beautiful suite of products. So when I was looking through the catalog trying to decide on a project to case, I saw this bag. And I thought, ooh, I wonder if I can come up with some measurements to create this bag. So it took a lot of paper for me to figure out some measurements. My bag is not, I don't think my measurements are exactly the same, of course, but I think I got it pretty darn close to what they did here. So I thought I would share with you my many attempts at figuring up the measurements. So this is some retired designer paper from last year's annual catalog, and I still had a little bit of it left. So I used this for creating my prototypes, and this one just didn't work out. This one didn't have enough panels to make 4 sides. That didn't work out. It made a triangle, actually, a big, fat, chunky triangle bag. This one, I was getting closer, but still wasn't right. This one was, I thought, okay, but it wasn't wide enough. And then the base, the flaps were too big, so that didn't work out. This one was a very skinny, bag. I do think I want to try this one in the future, but it just made a tall, skinny bag. So I went through several different samples here. So this was my final attempt, and I think I got it pretty close. My bag, I think, is still maybe a little bit taller. I don't know. I can't really tell from the picture. I feel like it's still a little bit taller and more narrow than what I see here, but I'm not really sure from the photographs. But I thought this was pretty close, so I went ahead and went with the measurements for this bag. And here is the sample that I came up with. So I love how this bag turned out. It has some very vibrant colors, as you can see. So the bag itself has Dapper Denim and then the gold foiling stripes. And then I added some of our lemon lime twist ribbon, which looks absolutely gorgeous with this bag. At first I wasn't sure how I liked it with the Dapper Denim, but I really do like it. And this has, this tag has Fresh Fig, and then I embossed the sentiment and put a little bit of Dapper Denim here with this little swirly image there. And then we've also got some gold 1/8 inch ribbon, and then we've got one of the tassels, the gold tassels featured in the suite. So I think it's gorgeous. So we are going to recreate this bag to look more like the sample in the catalog in the video. So let's go ahead and get started. So I've got the other gold foiled pattern from that Eastern Palace Specialty Designer Series paper, and this is the piece we're going to use for the project we create in the video. I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer here, my Stampin' trimmer, and I'm going to turn this pattern, instead of having it vertically, I'm going to turn it this way so that the points of this pattern are going sideways, because I want my bag to be going this direction. So right now we're going to cut down the bottom of the bag, so I want to turn it this way so that this is the bottom down here. I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to put it here in my trimmer, pull out the little extender arm, and I am going to cut this down to 10 inches by 12 inches. So it's already 12 by 12, so I'm just going to take 2 inches off, and now you've got 10 inches by 12 inches. And you can save this and do something cool with that as well. So now with the 10-inch side at the top of my trimmer, I'm going to take my light scoring blade, and let me just slide this down here, and I'm going to score at 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to line that up with 1.5 inches and score. Okay, I think that should be good. Now I'm going to rotate this around with the 12-inch side at the top of my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm going to slide this down, and again I'm going to score at 1.5 inches. Then I'm going to go down and score at 5.5 inches. Then I'll go down to 7 inches right here. And then I'll go down to 11 inches. So right about there. Okay, so that's all of our scoring. All right, so I've got my bone folder here, and you can see those score lines now here on the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start burnishing these score marks, giving them a nice crease. This paper is really nice and thick, so it actually makes a really sturdy gift bag. I love it. I really enjoy coming up with measurements for bags and boxes. It's just a lot of fun, but it does take me a lot of attempts to create the measurements for this bag. I used a lot of division, just dividing 12 a million different ways to figure out the measurements. So math is very important when you're creating bags and boxes, 3D projects. Okay, so I'm just cutting up, snipping up these score lines here along the bottom, and this little one here on the side. Okay, all right, so this little 1-inch tab here on the side, we're actually gonna cut this little tab off. We don't need that little tab. So I'm just gonna cut that off, and then I'm also going to come in and snip that at an angle. So what you've got now, I think I'm gonna flip it on this side. I think it's easier to see. This is what you've got now. So you've got 4 tabs down here at the bottom, your 1-inch tab, and then you've got your other score lines, okay? All right, so now what I've done is on that 1-inch side where we angled off the bottom corner, I went ahead and added 2 strips of our tear and tape, and I'm just going to get my paper piercer here and peel this up. You could use fast fuse. I just decided to go ahead and use tear and tape for this. Okay, got my backings peeled up. And now what you want to do is, well, let me show you this. So I put tear and tape on this flap, and then the flap that's this bottom flap right here, next to your 1.5-inch flap, I went ahead and put some tear and tape over here. So the one that's, not the one that's closest to your angled flap, but the one that's closest to this little 1.5-inch flap over here. That one I went ahead and put some tear and tape on as well. So what I'm gonna do is fold this over, line up this side really well. There we go. So now my seam is here, so this is gonna be the back of my bag. So I'm gonna fold in my 2 side flaps, fold those in, okay? Fold this flap down, and then this flap is going to fold up so that this seam is also at the back of the bag. So I'm just going to take off my tear and tape backings here. All right, got those backings off, so let me do that again. Fold in those, fold in that, and now, there we go, fold up this, okay? All right, and so there is our bag. Isn't that so cute? Okay, so there's our bag. So now let's get everything together for our stamping. All right, so I'm gonna bring in a scrap piece of paper here, and then I've got a piece of Dapper Denim cardstock. This is cut at 2 inches by 4.5 inches. And I'm gonna bring in my scallop tag topper punch, and I'm just going to slip this piece of cardstock in to make a little tag. Now I've got my Dapper Denim ink pad here, and I am going to stamp this image right here, and I'm gonna put this little image inside of it. So we're gonna create a little background. So just ink this up, and let's see, I'll start right here. Sorry if you can hear the TV. A lot of people in my house right now, so it's kind of noisy. Okay, so I'm just creating a little bit of a background. And put that there. Okay, I think that looks good. Yeah, we'll go with that. Now I'm going to take that little image and I'm just going to start adding it right inside of the open parts of the first image. So let me see if you can see that. So I'm just going to go in and start doing that all the way around. All right. So I've got all of that done for my little background, and so that's how that piece looks. All right, so now I'm just going to bring in some very vanilla cardstock. I've got my Versamark ink pad, my powder tool, just going to cover that pretty well. There we go. And we are going to stamp that "Let's Be Friends Forever" sentiment and heat emboss this in gold. So just stamp that down. You can't see anything yet, but the magic will happen soon. Okay, so I'm going to bring back that scratch piece of paper we used a minute ago. I've got my Stampin' Emboss powder in gold. Okay, so I'll just sprinkle this on. Flick off any excess. Let me just do it one more time, make sure I got everything covered really well. Ooh. Embossing is something I don't do enough, heat embossing. Okay, so there we go. I think that looks good. All right, so now I've got my Stampin' Up! Heat tool. This has two settings, 1 and 2. I'm gonna put this on setting 2 and heat this up. If you have your volume all the way up, you might wanna turn it down. It's gonna be kind of loud. Here we go. The magic of heat embossing. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go on over to my Big Shot. I'm gonna use my Eastern Medallions Thinlit dies. I'm using this die right here, and I'm gonna cut this right out, and I'll be back. All right, so I got that all cut out, and I wanna stamp one more thing. I'm gonna bring in my Fresh Fig ink pad here and that little swirly-doo. And I'm gonna stamp that right down here in the bottom center, just like that. So now we can take this and go ahead and just add a little fast fuse to the left side. So I added it on that side. And I'm just going to adhere this down. I want it to kind of hang off the edge a little bit. I think I'll put it right about there, looks good. Isn't that cute? So cute. So to close up or tie off our bag, I'm going to use the Fresh Fig finely woven ribbon. So on our sample, I used the Lemon Lime Twist finely woven ribbon. So I'm using the Fresh Fig. So what I want to do first is I'm just going to pinch in my sides here. Just kind of pinch those in. There we go. The left side is going to be a little bit harder because you've got 2 layers of cardstock there on the left side, but just pinch that in just like so. Ah, gorgeous. And then I'm going to get a nice length of this finely woven ribbon because I want to wrap it around and tie it in a bow. And I'm just going to bring this down, bring one down, pull this through. Let's see if I can tie a decent bow. And you want to kind of pull this tight because you do want it to sort of seal up your bag. You want it to pinch that top piece a bit. Okay, so let me just do this. I'm gonna pinch this closed with one of our library clips. All right, so now I'm gonna fold this right over. Let's see, and there we go. Oh, yay, I did it, I did it, I did it. That looks pretty good, actually. Yay! Okay, so I can't really explain what I did, but I did right over left, and it seems to have been successful. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna trim down this side, and I'm leaving it kind of long because I do want to eventually actually use this bag for a gift. So I would have to retie it when I go to use it, so I want to keep the strings kind of long, the tails. All right, so we've got this. I think that looks pretty gorgeous. I love it. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is take this and bring in those mini tassels, and I'm gonna grab the gold one. And then I've got a length of our gold 1/8 inch ribbon. So I'm just going to feed that right through my tassel and then feed that through my tag. Okay, just like so. Then you want to put this around your bow as well. So I'm gonna slip it underneath my tied bow, just like that, okay? And then I'm gonna tie, well not tie, but I'm gonna take these two ends of my metallic ribbon and I'm just gonna put them, make a little knot here. Just pull those tails through and just slip that knot down. Okay, there we go. So that way that kind of dangles off just like that, so cute. And then you can just trim down these little tails. Okay, and there it is. There is our finished bag. It is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. What do you guys think? I love it. All right, and then I'm just gonna bring in our original there. I'd love to know which bag is your favorite. Do you like the Dapper Denim in gold or the gold and the very vanilla? Which one do you prefer? I don't know, something about this one is drawing in my eye. I kind of like the funky colors, but this one has a nice elegant look to it. This one's kind of elegant and this one's funky fun. I kind of like the funky fun. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's Stampin' Up! Saturday tutorial. Fun new project for you to give a try. So thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. You can find all of the measurements as well as all of the supplies that I used over on today's coordinating blog post. I've also got the supplies listed below the video in the description notes. There are clickable links down there to the supplies as well as today's blog post. So thanks again, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.